Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's February 2nd. It's a presentation of the Lord. That means 40 days since Christmas, and it's a big feast. But some of you are wondering if the groundhog saw a shadow. I don't know. I had groundhog one time. Tastes like chicken. But today I want to talk a little bit about an old commercial I saw when I was in high school about Dove soap. And it was like this lady would come on. She's like, "Your skin is so soft and so smooth, and that's when I told her I've been using Dove." Anyway, it was about soft hands, and that's what I want to talk to you about today because I've got this Gold Bond. This is for those that have dry, calloused hands. Especially in the wintertime, they start to crack and bleed and get really rough. And my hands get that way, not from hard work, but just because I get outside every now and again. So you put this stuff on, and it doesn't make you feel very manly, I'll admit that. And you might say, "Father, do you really use that?" Not to your knowledge. But there was a book of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and you remember this guy, Curly, and he kept one hand in a glove. And he acknowledged that he kept that, some Vaseline in there. He kept one hand soft for the women. It was a weird thing. But the idea, of course, is that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Taking care of yourself, maintenance of your body, for example. We try to do that, right? Especially in a time where you're worried about COVID, coronavirus, these sort of things. Maybe taking some vitamin D, get a little more rest, taking care of your health so that you're a little more invincible, so to speak. So it's the same in our spiritual life, that what can we do by way of maintenance, right? That we can prevent certain temptations, certain falls, certain things that inevitably would happen, except that we have a relationship with Jesus. We have a hope. We have someone that is worth living for and even worth dying for. So our prayer life, the time we spend with the Lord, Lent's coming, and the spiritual life, St. Ignatius used to talk about the spiritual exercises. We don't always do them because, well, they're hard. We can be lazy. Sometimes we're too busy, too much on our plate. We get too tired. Prayer is difficult unless we make it a priority, right? It has to come at the beginning and the end of the day. Make it kind of the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega. That's who Jesus is. And so maintenance, right? That's what this Gold Bond hand cream. Now, if you ever met Pope John Paul, that was one of the things that people would say. Said, "Gosh, he's got really soft hands." Maybe he used this stuff. I don't remember him in the commercial, but with a priest, they used to tell us that these hands are made for chalices, not calluses. Well, that would be scandalous because it would imply that we don't do any work. We never ever pick up a shovel or a broom or anything like that, and we should. But taking care of our hands, making sure that they don't crack or bleed, making sure they're soft for the women or whatever, that's not a terrible thing. That's taking care of the body. The body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. What are we doing spiritually, to take care of our soul, which has a beginning and no end? Preventative maintenance, all things that are done in preparation for the encounter with God, the great Passover from this life to the life that will never end. So I recommend this Lent, get yourself good and lathered up, a little Gold Bond, and get your soul, filled with the sanctity of God in prayer and the sacraments and reconciliation. God bless you. We'll see you next week.